Hello Pisces. Welcome to your February 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Pisces. And if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome, and thank you for subscribing because I have a lot of great stuff on here. And if you're not new to my channel, this is going to be a very different reading than what I typically do. I am just picking a whole bunch of different decks to use in these readings. I don't have a structure other than I'm going to pick 10 cards for you and we're going to go from there and just see what comes up. I just needed a break from the structured readings, and so this is how we're going to do it this month, but then I'll get back to the way I regularly read in the coming months. All right, so deep breath. Notice anything that wants to come up today, and let's do this. Okay, I don't think I've ever used this unicorn deck for a full reading, but we're just gonna see how this goes today. So let me start with the truth bomb that I got for you. First thing, only seek to be more of yourself. So really playing to authenticity. Remember that relationships, careers, all of the things that, you know, a lot of people prioritize, the experiences that you have are all to experience more of yourself. Okay, so it's just about aligning with the things that are important to you and going from there. Okay, I'm just going to start reading and seeing what comes up. First thing, Ten of Pentacles. Okay, coming off really strong with this reading already. All foundation. Also, really great card for relationships if that's something you're focusing on. We have the Fool. Okay, liking this as well. A fresh start, you know, getting your foot on the right track, getting started on something. Ace of Swords, so new ideas. These are strongly connected and tied together. So we'll see what else comes up. Ten of Cups. Okay, so more relationship stuff happening here. This is the happy, joy card, as you all know. And, the Star. Okay, beautiful reading already. I'm getting that February is going to be a really solid month. So a lot of the things that you've been planting seeds and wanting to make happen, and a lot of the things that you've been wanting to execute as well, are going to be achievable in February. That's a big part of this because it seems like you've been building the framework for whatever it is that you have going, right? Laying the brick, creating the foundation, putting in the legwork, doing the healing work, putting in the time. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is all about. It's setting yourself up for success for the future. So this is you focusing on a 10-year plan, not a 6-month plan. So that's where you have this, and then the Fool and the Ace of Swords are really playing with each other in this reading, where it seems like all of the ideas that you've had brewing, you're taking action on in February, and you're actually putting one foot in front of the other when it comes to the things that you've conceptualized or the things that you've been wanting to do but maybe had fear about or limiting beliefs about. It just seems like the floodgates kind of open and you're able to step into the highest and best version of yourself in February. And remember that ebbs and flows. We all go through different seasons. So give yourself some flexibility here. But it really seems that this is the execution card when I'm looking at this. So execution on your dreams, execution on the things that you want to make happen, or a roll-in of the manifestations that you've been working on. That's also what the Ten of Cups is showing me. So if you are in a relationship, if you're looking for a relationship, this is a great couple cards to have here as well with the Ten of Cups and the Star, because this is a soulmate card. So a lot of that stuff is percolating. Even if you can't see where things are going or how much progress has been made or, you know, where it's headed, if you're practicing faith, because it is a practice. It's a muscle. Like the more faith that you have, the better off you're going to be in the long term. But in the short term, if you're not used to that, it can be really sticky. So that's one of the things that you can really focus on this month in order for it to really support you in all the ways that you want it to. But with the 10 of Cups sitting here, I don't think any of you are going to have any issues with that. It doesn't mean there's no speed bumps. It doesn't mean that there are no hard days, but when you're looking at the overall picture, this is looking really, really solid. Let's keep going with the rest of the cards and see what comes up this month. 9 of Swords. So this is fear. This is like really getting concerned. Am I going to make it? Do I have enough strength to get the things that I want? Are things going to work out the way I want them to? There's no way you can get the 10 of Cups or the Star without breaking through this fear. So remember that this is necessary. It's normal to experience fear before you take risks, before you execute on your dreams, before you do all of the legwork, especially when you're investing in something and or taking risks in a way that you may not have before. And especially because it's sitting right here with the Fool. We also have the 8 of Swords. So dealing with the uncertainty is very much likely what's causing the fear. Not being able to see what lies ahead or what you have coming up is probably going to inspire this fear picture right here. And then we have the Queen of Cups, 5 of Swords, the Moon. This reading is now showing up way different than what I've read for anyone else. This is reality. Okay, so the top layer, this is how things are going and what's happening. Okay, the bottom layer is what you're experiencing internally. And it's a stark contrast because you can see up top, it's like, wow, things are actually really moving forward and are in your favor. Things are really playing out in a way that's probably better than you imagined possible. But internally, you have the fear picture, not being able to see or know for certain what lies ahead. The Queen of Cups, this is you working with the emotions that you have and really stepping away from self-judgment around the experiences that you're having. Because the Queen of Cups is able, this is you, first of all, and she's able to sit and just work with what she has without, shaming herself or being judgmental. The Queen of Cups is really good at being nurturing in a way that a mother would, like really having that caretaking and gentleness that you would want to give to like a 2-year-old. And so you can use that this month because I think you've been doing a lot of practice around just being soft with yourself. It's very easy to be critical and harsh and mean to ourselves, especially if that's something that was planted early on. And so the 5 of Swords is showing that you're releasing the fear, you're releasing the grief, you're releasing the limiting beliefs that may have been holding you back. It's still going to be a little bit discombobulating and a little bit confusing. That's what I'm seeing with the Moon. This reading is so clear, it's not even funny. But remember that you have to do all of this yucky work, right? You have to go through the pain, you have to work through the fear, you have to challenge yourself, you have to release in order to get the goods. It's like this is what's sitting up top is gold. This is like you don't actually have anything to worry about. That's how this is appearing, that you have the Star and the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles and the Fool and the Ace of Swords. Like these are all cards that are showing you're making monstrous movement forward. You are like pushing yourself leaps and bounds beyond what you've done in the past. But remember, you have to declutter this stuff as you go. You have to do the work with the fear. And it's like, if you think about existing in this state, right, you're not going to be able to experience all of this wonderful stuff you have sitting on the surface. And so it might be really hard for some of you to see that right away. It might be that if you're experiencing maybe a slump or a period of time when you're not really seeing how things are going to play out, or whether or not things are clear or whether or not things are going to support you for the long term, that's where this confusion and need to release is popping up. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the King of Swords. It's all about the way you're thinking. So having a mastery over your mind is important. If you don't, and if you're dealing with a lot of stuff right now, it's probably your best bet to work with somebody who can support you and help you shift things and work through things. I know I have a whole bunch of Pisces clients, and so I know that a lot of you already do work with me, but even if I'm not your practitioner, just make sure that you have somebody, whether it be a therapist or a mentor or a spiritual practitioner, or maybe it's even, you know, a minister, or I mean, who knows, whatever it is that you like to work with and whatever is supportive to you is all that matters. So I would get, if you're really having a rough time this month, if you're really struggling with being able to throw a harness on the way you're thinking, then this is going to be the time to lean on a support system of some kind. Okay, let me pull some oracle cards. I am really getting Sovereign Oracle for you right now. Let's pull some of these. And if you're not familiar with this deck, it has one word and 3 phrases that go along with each word. And so just notice where you feel like you're really, where the information is resonating, or whichever one is sticking out to you most. Just notice it. First thing coming up, thrive. Imagine an easeful, prosperous outcome. Create a pathway to resources that support your vision. Release any tendency to assume a struggle is necessary. I love, this is actually one of my favorite things to work with clients on, is imagine it being easy. Imagine things just working out perfectly. I mean, how many times have you been in fear? How many times have you not known what's going to happen? How many times have you gone to catastrophe, doom and gloom, the worst case scenario, and it didn't end up playing out that way? Or the worst case happened and it wasn't actually as bad as you were imagining it in your mind. That's the type of stuff that you can use in your work and in your cerebral experience this month to really help you get through this and experience and be present with all of the wonderful things you have going on. I would just, it does make me not sad. I just feel that there are so many people who don't take time to celebrate, or who have a hard time recognizing all of the great things that they have going on, and they instead are only focusing on fear-based thoughts. And like, look, I'm right there with you if you have that experience as well. But imagine it being easy. Like, you have to put your brain in a position where it can imagine things being easy, and that's what's going to help you. And then surrender. Let go of changing things outside of your control. Don't let the drive of your ego get in the way of true peace. Release the need to win. Okay, so surrendering the outcome, great time to practice just not trying to force something, but allowing things instead. Again, with the Thrive card, this is showing let it be easy. And part of the way that you're going to let it be easy is if you surrender. That's part of, it's like, let God do the work, or let the universe do the work for you. You don't have to force it. And it just seems like there's not any reason why you would need to. I think things probably are really easy. Again, on the surface, on the reality earth level, things are going super well in February. It's just the internal state that might be causing some hiccups. So this is where you need to get a hold of the mind, and the reality will shift. Okay, let's pull one more of these. Communicate. Clarify others' intentions, demonstrate your values. Remember that your words create your reality. Yes, so Thoughts, words, and actions create your reality. And the more you're able to communicate, the easier your needs can get met, the faster things are going to flow. And pay attention to the story that you're telling yourself. That's another piece that's coming up here. I have the Affirmators Love and Relationship cards. We're going to pull one of these for you. And it's good if this is for all types of relationships, not just romantic ones. So it could be business partnerships, it could be friendships, whatever applies to you, just go ahead and insert that into the blank. Teamwork. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game, and when we're on the same side, nobody can lose, not even the Cubs, finally. Okay, so really keeping your headspace in more, oh, this is a big connection that I am just realizing. Now this card said release the need to win. And this card is saying you need to work together and co-create. And the thing that these two cards have in common is really not looking at it as you versus them, or kind of stripping away the aspect of competition here, or God's either working for you or punishing you. Be really careful with that black and white thinking. If you're falling into that right now, or if you've been struggling with that, you kind of want to help reframe the way you're working with things right now, because it looks like that just isn't going to support you at this time. You really need to look at this as a co-creative experience in all forms. Okay, I'm going to pull one of these. Nope, nope, nope. Where are you? Come on. There it is. All right, final step. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So good. I think this process that you're going through, facing the fear, not knowing what comes next, having compassion for yourself, releasing limiting beliefs, and feeling into the unknown is the final step. Like that is what's needed here. And it's like you're almost there. If there's anything that you do this month, please, if you are focusing on, or if you're making a plan, or ready to give up, or ready to throw in the towel, or not wanting to move forward, hang in there. Hang in there. Do not quit in February, because you're so close to getting the thing that you want. You have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles and the Star sitting up top. Come on, give this a chance to show up for you. And that is what will happen. That's why you need the moon here. The moon is helping you, because all of this unknown is what allows you to experience this. We need the moon this month in order for you to get the things that you want. If this were reality, I mean, then it would be, it would be really hard, but you would still need the moon to breathe into the unknown, to really experience something other than what your brain is telling you. Because just because you have a thought doesn't mean you need to believe it. And you always have the option of choosing a thought again. Just choose again. You don't have to buy into all of the things that your mind is cooking up, because your mind is active, your imagination is up and at 'em, and it's not really necessary for you to buy into all of that every time. Let's see here. Let's just pull one botanical card, and then I'm going to go ahead and do our 3-card pick as usual. So for you, invigorate. How can you give yourself some additional energy this month? I think that movement would be really great. I think that having a morning routine would be really great. Anything that gets your blood pumping, or gets you out of bed in the morning. Like, what is it that invigorates you or motivates you? Focus on that. And then we're going to do a 3-card pick. So you're welcome to focus on card 1, 2, or 3. You are also welcome to just notice the card that your eyes are kind of glued to. That can work as well. You can ask a question. You can pick as few or as many cards as you'd like. This is just for you. Okay, card number 1, the Devil. Okay, this is one of my favorite Devil cards. And 2, this month you are going to have the option. I'm going to call it an option. You have the option of going back to old belief systems and doing things the way you used to do them. It's always an option. You can choose differently at any point in time, but remember, the temptation might still be there. Your job is to push back against it, to release it, and move away from it as best as you can, while still acknowledging what those lessons or what that voice or whatever this function is that protected you at one point, how that's being dismantled and how you are stepping into a new space and a new way of thinking. Okay, card number 2, we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. New love, vitality. This is also showing a lot of self-care as well. Remember that it has to start with that. You can only receive as much as you're willing to give to yourself and as much as you're willing to allow yourself. And that's really what's going to support you this month, is focus on taking care of yourself and meeting your needs and doing things that are best for you. And you're going to be met with that in the external. Card number 3, we have the 2 of Pentacles. So lots of choices and decisions are going to be presenting themselves. I think it's kind of like you could do this or that. You can move forward with in this direction, or you can take this course instead. So I think that you just have a lot of big decisions to be making in February for yourself, and that is going to either push, it's going to bring you closer to alignment, or maybe you're going to veer off a little bit and then realize you're going to course correct as you go. That's what this month is about for you, or the situation that you're inquiring about. Okay, my friends, that is all that I have for you today. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this reading as much as I've enjoyed reading for you. It's going to be an exceptional month. Just allow yourself to see it as such. And until next time, if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you'd like to get an intuitive counseling session, you guys know that's what I do best. You're welcome to check that out in the description box. I also have tarot spreads as well as love and relationship readings for each and every sign available on Patreon, and weekly sign-specific readings on Patreon as well. So go ahead, check all of that out. Thank you for subscribing and following me on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, have a beautiful February, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.